Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Thursday, March 20th. I am Darrell Watkins, the senior minister here at Sunshine Cathedral, an auxiliary bishop of the Global Justice Institute, and the current president of the Divine Science Federation. With me today is Bishop Robert Griffin of the Global Justice Institute, Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, and Reverend Kevin Tisdall, all of whom minister with me at Sunshine Cathedral. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about our progressive faith community and how you can be a part of it no matter where you live in the world. And if you live in South Florida, be sure to check out the Sunshine Cathedral Center for the Performing Arts, offering entertainment for the LGBTQ+ community to benefit the LGBTQ+ community. Queer God Squad was created by Hotspots Happening Out to support our mission to explore the value of faith in the LGBTQ community. There is no streaming TV show like this in the entire world. In 2025, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Hotspots Magazine, the 5th anniversary of Queer News Tonight, with nearly 10,000 stories and 10 million views in 2024. We will produce the 25th anniversary of Stonewall Pride Parade and Festival on June 14th, Pride Fest Diversity Pride in August, and now the near 50th anniversary of Pride Fort Lauderdale in February. We are the largest nonprofit LGBTQ media organization in America, and we encourage you to support our mission to inform, entertain, and educate our community and allies. If you enjoy the Queer God Squad, please share this or other episodes with your friends, family, and social media communities.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral Perspective. Queer justice, why reproductive rights matter to us. We all share this one planet, and we will all fare better if we care about one another. We shouldn't have to be transgender to care about transgender people and the struggles they face. We don't have to be queer to care about equal justice and equal opportunity for LGBTQ+ people. We don't need to be Black to affirm that Black lives matter. And we don't need to be women of childbearing years to care about reproductive justice. In fact, queer people are uniquely poised to discuss sexual health, the ethics of sex for pleasure, body appreciation, the dignity of self-determination, the similarities between the imagery and language for the erotic and for the sacred, and the joys of communal child-rearing over against the patriarchal, heterosexist, nuclear family model. Queer folk should care about reproductive justice because queer folk know what it's like to fight for the right to live free while others try to control, limit, or erase our sexuality. We are justice-seeking people, and we should want liberty and justice for all people. So let's talk about reproductive justice. You know, I think those of us who are part of the queer community know what it feels like to live our lives and to have our bodies try to be controlled by others or are demeaned by others. It really is about bodily autonomy, not just for women of childbearing years, but for everybody in the queer community. It should be for everybody, but I think queer people can really understand this. And when we're talking about reproductive justice, it really does mean health care for all people. What does it mean for health care for all people? If they go after women's bodily autonomy, they can go after anything else. I mean, it could be care for HIV. It could be really anything. It really is health care for all people. And we have to question, do we really want freedom for all people? Something to think about.
I need to, we dance around this because I mean, not we at this table, but we, larger world, dance around this because we don't want to offend this, that, or that. I don't care about offending anymore about this. I'm tired of letting people suffer so that people who won't suffer won't get offended. Screw that. So I just need to say that abortion is a woman's right.
Thank you.
Not can be justified, not under certain circumstances, not so many weeks, not if somehow, no. It's her body, it's her life, it's her right.
Period.
And I don't want to hear from people that know I absolutely believe life starts at you don't care. You don't care because you don't care about children getting food at school if they don't have any at home. You don't care about every child under 12 or under 16 or whatever having unfettered access to health care. You don't care because you are the first. You won't give up your guns. You won't even try to have any sort of restriction on guns. You're the first one screaming capital punishment when there's a crime. You're the first one saying that it is your moral and patriotic duty to support any war that any president gets us into. No, you love war, you love guns, you love violence, you love killing. No, you're not pro-life. And you're not even pro-fetus. You pretend to worship a fetus, and you don't. If I drew one for you, you probably couldn't recognize it, most people. So it's not that you're worshiping a fetus. It is that you are controlling a woman's sexuality. Mm-hmm. That if a woman can control her own sexuality, and if needs to do something medical about it, for any reason, I don't even want to go through the long list of reasons why a person might need a divorce. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. She says she needs it. She needs it. She needs to go to the doctor and get it. Full stop. End of the story. And that is my morality. That is my morality. Now, you don't want me to work and work and work tirelessly until some state legislature or city commissioner or whatever makes it be where you have to have an abortion, right? Because that's my moral, that you shouldn't have more than 2 kids, or you shouldn't have a kid if you know it's going to be, low IQ, or. So under these, you have to have it. That's my, you wouldn't want me to legislate my morality. So you shouldn't do it the other way around. That's where choice comes in. Mm-hmm. I believe it is a sin. Then for fuck's sake, don't do it. I believe it's a right. Well, then exercise your right. Do you see how that works? So yes, no, I won't even say that I am pro-choice. I am pro-woman and pro-abortion, and that is my morality. That is my understanding of righteousness. That is what I believe is absolutely right and good. And so, and I think that the people who oppose it really are opposing women's freedom to be sexual beings, to enjoy sex, to control whether and when and how they have children. I just think that is so much power, and you can't stand it. You can't stand with people of color. You can't stand with immigrants. You can't stand with queer people. You can't stand with women. You can't stand with poor people. You can't stand when they, whoever they are, exercise complete freedom and autonomy. Well, it's a justice issue. And so we are going to stand up and speak out and preach for autonomy and freedom from now on.
Amen.
We have been fighting over bodies in this country from day one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Somebody has been leading the charge to fight over somebody's body, and we know who that somebody is. Mm-hmm. And it never ceases to amaze me how we have fought over bodies and at the cost of someone else. We have fought over bodies at the expense of someone else. Mm-hmm. We have passed legislations over bodies. We've taken rights away from bodies. And it just never ceases to amaze me that when we get down to the issue we're talking about today, that people didn't realize how many other healthcare benefits was associated with this one item.
Right.
Yes.
And how far down the food chain, if you will, those benefits benefited someone, I'm just going to say on the other side of the train track.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is a broad issue. It's a huge issue. Mm-hmm. And I've read along with Darrell, respect. And men, stay out of women's uterus. Stay out of women's bodies. Like, get a grip here. This is not your call to make, to say how somebody else's body should and should not function, right. What someone else should do with someone else's body. You got a hard enough time with your own body if you're taking a certain pill. Okay?
Right.
You got enough issues with your own.
medication to enhance their sexuality while they are trying to control and limit women's sexuality.
So get your priorities in order and just stay in your lane. And let's look at how the damage and effect that this has already had on people's bodies.
That's right.
Especially people in the women's community. This is at such a disdain effect that once again we're back to ground zero and we're having to fight for the rights of people's bodies
to be a person,
own,
take care of yourself.
body.
Yep.
And can you imagine Maxine Waters? She proposes a bill today. Can you imagine the backlash that any man who has fathered 3 children must have a vasectomy?
Whoa.
Well, hello.
Why not?
That's
Yeah,
my
why not?
body. That's my choice. You don't tell me how many kids have.
Boy.
There would be. How is it different?
Exactly.
Not.
And I'm going to channel my inner Sophia. Picture this. 1972, 1973. The Roe case is going before the Supreme Court. I'm sitting talking to my mother about it, and I'm saying, I just can't understand why a woman would ever want to have an abortion. My mother looks at me, and she says, the day that you have to make that decision will be the day that you have a voice in this conversation. And that has stuck with me for the rest of my life. If it's not affecting my body, I don't have that choice to decide what happens to your body or anybody else's body. It is a personal choice, and you have no idea of what women go through in making those choices. We think maybe that it's the easiest thing they have ever done. I don't believe so. I believe that they sit with themselves, and if they are a believer, they might sit with someone else. They may sit with a counselor. They may sit with clergy. But the ultimate decision is the woman's decision, and it is the most personal decision that I could ever imagine anyone making. So yeah, if you are not the person who has to decide what to do, then just shut the hell up.
And yet we fought over bodies, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of that we had the Loving case, and we had the Emancipation Proclamation, and we had the Civil Rights Act, we had the Voting Rights Act, and it's always, can I drink from this water fountain? Can I go into this space? Can I marry the person I love? The marriage equality, the Obergefell thing, which is endangering it. We're fighting over, can people be free to live their lives? And it's never, P.S. though, straight white men who have anything on the line.
Yep.
But it is them trying to decide who can enter their space and live their kind of life.
Yep.
And it's old and it's boring. And I really thought we'd be past it at this stage of my life. But nope, I guess I'll just have to fight until the very end.
Yep.
But P.S. I will.
I'll be there.
All right.
Trust that. Well, that's today with the Queer God Squad.
Before we go, we want to invite you to join Sunshine Cathedral on a wonderful travel experience and help our mission for our community. Join us on the Florida AIDS Walk Pride Cruise. This unique 3-day cruise will sail from Miami on the $1 billion and ultra-deluxe 170,000-ton MSC Seascape on November 2nd, 2025. The cruise is for the Florida AIDS Walk. Your participation helps 13 vital beneficiaries in our community. The cruise is an incredible value starting at just $199 and is also a fundraiser for the Sunshine Cathedral. Parties, special events, and more aboard, including special unlimited beverage and open bar with Wi-Fi for all 3 days for just $68. We invite you to join us on this amazing cruise for fun. This vital cruise for good.
Thank you for joining the Queer God Squad today. We are here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. Remember that. We all are in this together.
Also remember, you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Goodbye.